Festival of Pollination with Manti and Andy. It was mid-February when the still air smelt pure and refreshing. The early morning dew had trickled down every leaf, as if nature was bathing herself. Flowers sprang to life from every corner of the garden. Chiconias, heliconias, marigold, and daisies were all beautifully arrayed. Even some fruit trees could not be denied. The starch mango, avocado, and pumsite were also in bloom. It was the perfect setting for a seasonal banquet. Manti, who was not swayed by the season, waited patiently on a bushy vine. He knew pretty well that the colorful passion fruit flowers would attract honeybees. He was indeed hungry. Close by, scurrying down a snaky vine, was Andy. He, along with other insects, had looked forward to this food fiesta. The occasion was a tradition for most of the insect family. Invited to dine were butterflies, dragonflies, and blowflies. They were all adorned in their costume-like bodies. The setting was full of sound, color, and sweet-scented flowers. Andy had loved sharing in the nectar feast. While checking on himself, he noticed that his friend only became interested when honeybees came buzzing by. With blinking speed, Manti grabbed at one of the honeybees but missed. That was enough for the other bees to never return. Andy ran down a gently sloped vine, scuttled across and snapped. "Manti, don't you know this is not the time to be hunting honeybees? They are the specially invited guests in today's festivities."
"But I'm hungry,"
Manti agitatedly responded. Andy then sternly cautioned, "There is no excuse. Not all passion fruit flowers can self-pollinate. They need all of nature's help in getting pollen dust onto their stigmas. We must not stop this process called pollination." Surprisingly, a creepy dark shadow visited them and a puff of wind tossed them into the air. Fortunately, they had landed on a nearby hibiscus plant that was in bloom. As Andy had finished sorting out his feet, he alerted Manti to a neighboring flower. It was being admired by a roving hummingbird. Andy instructed, "As this hummingbird approaches the flower, it brushes its head against the 5 circular objects called stigmas. When the hummingbird goes in much closer, its head rubs against the yellow anthers. Instantly, specks of yellow pollen dust attach onto the hummingbird's head. Now, when the bird laps up the nectar at the base of the flower, it then moves to another flower. The sticky yellow pollen grains transfer from the bird's head onto the stigmas of this new flower. It is repeated several times as the hummingbird moves from one hibiscus flower to the next. Finally, flowers, insects, birds, and the wind come together to celebrate this festive occasion. The life cycle of plants is important to the survival of all living things on earth. It is crucial that we all do our part in safeguarding the Festival of Pollination.